BBC, ITV, BBC Two hadn't even started, and the news didn't last very long. It was completely different, and the politicians didn't feel the need to come out and make the kind of statements that Clegg and Cameron and Gordon Brown have made today.
Michael, great pleasure to talk to you, and thank you very much for sharing memories with us. Thank you very much, Michael Cockrell. And of course, Michael, remembering lots about 1974, we are today talking about 2010 and the fact that we've got a hung parliament for the first time since 1974. So, as I say goodbye today, why don't we go with some of the memories that we're going to be left with after the night and day. And that'll be a little later on. In the meantime, we'll hand you to the weather. It's Louise.
Good evening. Well, unfortunately, the weather doesn't live up to the excitement of today's events that much, but it is a bit disappointing, if anything. A cold wind arrives across the country for the weekend, and it really will feel quite grim across England and Wales for tomorrow. This cold wind, north-northeasterly, driving in some rain overnight tonight across Lincolnshire and parts of Yorkshire down towards Wales and the Midlands. And anywhere south of that will be quite cloudy and damp. To the north of that, clearer skies and a touch of frost. More details, though, from the weather probably coming up at 6 o'clock, just at the bottom of the hour. Until then, have a pleasant evening. If you want to know what's happening elsewhere, you can always look online. Take care.
I want to make a big, open and comprehensive offer to the Liberal Democrats.
David Cameron offers a deal to Nick Clegg after the general election ends in a hung parliament. Mr Clegg says he will listen to what the Conservatives have to offer.
It is now for the Conservative Party to prove that it is capable of seeking to govern in the national interest.
But the man with the keys to number 10 is Gordon Brown, still Prime Minister and now waiting for others to decide his fate.
Mr Cameron and Mr Clegg should clearly be entitled to take as much time as they feel necessary. For my part, I should make clear that I would be willing to see any of the party leaders.
We'll have all the details of this remarkable election result.
I'll be here in our House of Commons finding out why the Conservatives failed to gain an overall majority.
We travel to one marginal constituency to find out how voters feel now about a hung parliament.
It's really messy. Really messy, okay? No one in charge.
People missed out their votes out there. It's totally wrong.
And in an election where every vote counted, why were hundreds of people turned away from polling stations?
And in sport, Manchester City midfielder Gareth Barry is out for 4 weeks with an ankle injury and could miss the start of England's World Cup. Their first game is against the United States, and that is on the 12th of June.
Good evening and welcome to the BBC News at 6. We're in Downing Street, where tonight Gordon Brown remains the Prime Minister, for now, after the general election resulted in a hung parliament. The three largest parties are now in a struggle over who will end up with the keys to number 10 behind me. After the closest election for a generation, these were the results. The Conservatives ended up with 306 seats, that's up 97. Labour won 258, that's down 91. With the Liberal Democrats on 57, that's down 5. And the other party